What's up? alexy1 here playing PezeljNovak, and I am from Serbia. One knight f3. Let's go knight f6. Let's see what he does here. He's playing some offbeat, non-critical line, which is fine if he wants to. But so we get some sort of a Sicilian now without e4. I don't know what to call this. I do know that I'm trying to get e5 in. So either with knight d5 and e5 or knight d7 and e5. I'm gonna go knight d7. If he pushes d5, I've got knight e5, trading some pieces, and I'm always happy trading pieces. But where to put this bishop? Probably to g4. Oh, not anymore. Then I'm gonna go to f5 with the queen c8 next. Because if he wants to defend against that, he's gonna have to play g4, which is horrible. So he's gonna go knight d4 next. No, he's not. Okay, so I could take on h3, but I don't think it's something. He's gonna push on this pawn, it seems. So let's calculate this. Bishop takes h3. What happens if I go knight h5 first? Doesn't really do anything. Okay. Okay. So I'm gonna try and play on this d pawn. I'm threatening to take now on d5 with the knight, so as to do something about that. He could go knight. No, he can't go knight d2 because we have bishop takes d5 then. So what is his next move? Bishop a4, I have b5, b3, which is a mess. I'm just gonna take there. And I'm probably gonna take back with the pawn if he takes. He didn't. So let's get our bishop active. Or our pieces. f4, bishop d4. So. Okay. I have to watch out for my. Ooh. I was gonna say I'd have to watch out for my bishop, but we still got f5 after f4, and now we're winning an exchange. This pawn on e6, which he's gonna play, is super strong though, so we're still not in the clear. Let's just play a6 first. Yeah, this diagonal is also scary, but we're hanging on still. So he's probably gonna play something like bishop c3, or I don't know. I'm just gonna triple my my pieces. If he plays c5, oh, I can't take here. Now I can if he plays c5, so I'm also threatening a check, which is something. So how's this ending? I can get into an ending with the rook versus bishop, but with these pawns. And it seems like I'm gonna have to, because I can't get into the ending. Well, I still can. He's gonna have to defend against this, so I'm still gonna do it. Let's see what this is. So if I go rook f5, he's gonna play c6. Oh, that's not bad. If c6, I'm gonna take and play rook f8 c8 and I'll win the c pawn. And if he doesn't play c6, I'm just gonna take on d5. If he takes on d6, I'm gonna take back, and then I'll take on d5. So this is a nice move, this rook f8. Gonna have to take that. Okay, so let's try and win this one. Do I mind? I'm just gonna play this forward. Yeah. I don't mind if he takes that pawn. So let's have a look. And well, I played c5 here. This just transposes. The critical response to one knight f6 is c4, because now you can't play this e5 line, because it's defended obviously. So but d4, yeah, it's possible. It just transposes. Most players play knight f6 as well here, so then you can get into the same line after knight f3. And also, if a player plays d4, d5 with black, he's probably gonna play knight f3, knight f6, d4, d5. So this move order doesn't really make a lot of sense. c4, c5. Yeah, and there are two critical lines here. d5 is critical, and c4 is critical. c4 is like 1d4, knight f6, c4, c5, and then knight f3. And this move order is well, something somewhat unique. So if a player gets this with white, this knight f6 and c5 after knight f3, he has the extra option of playing this d5. So yeah, black has some choices here. E6 is a move, then you get into the Benoni. After c4 takes d6, and then g6, bishop g7, castles. But you can also go b5, which is a move I play. It's pretty fun. Hard, but fun. Yeah, but he went for some offbeat, was something like a Cola, I don't know, London system, something like that. And now we just develop our pieces. And here it's interesting what to do, because if we go d5, not d4, I'm still getting used to my new mouse. d5, we're giving away this square for the knight, not forever, but the knight can jump in and play f4 next, and it's not really fun. So we played d6 here to try and get rook e8, knight c6, and e5 in. Jeez. e5 in. c3. And he's defending against it. I could have went for knight d5 as well, and then e5. But it seems like these pieces are a bit loose, and this pawn is weak as well. And well, I could have played e5 here as well. If we take this one is hanging, so didn't really look at that. Yeah, I took. Sometimes you can get into some trouble with this knight on e5. Not as of yet, but if I make some nothing moves and this knight moves and this bishop moves as well, you can just play f4 next, and then this knight is somewhat trapped. So I just wanted to trade as quickly as possible, I guess. Not really seeing anything concrete, but knight f6. Just trying to put some pressure here. If I get the chance, I can maybe even play b5. Here is definitely an option. The drawback of playing this move now is that a4 can't can't be met with a6. So probably bishop d7 first, and then b5 and a6 after a4 is an idea. If we go a4, we have this a6. Also we can take, but yeah. But I played this queen c8. I didn't even think of this b5 idea, which is strange because I always look for stuff like that. But whatever. Rook e2 is probably just gonna go queen e1 or queen somewhere in rook e1. So I needed to do something, and I like this idea. Here we can take on d5. I even think I said something like this during the game, that this was my threat. So why I didn't do it is somewhat beyond me. Queen c5. Yeah, and here this pawn is still a bit weak, but we can also attack his pawn center with well, his pawn mass actually, it's not really the center, with this b5 move. But yeah, I don't know. This seems a bit loose to me, because now we've traded a bad pawn of him for a good pawn of mine. That's not really the best. So I think he has to take here now. He didn't. And yeah, so it's definitely he wants to play f4. But if he goes f4 here, we have this bishop d4. So therefore he went rook e4. And this f6 move is a bit odd, but it still works. I wanted to get f6 and then f5 in, with the extra factor that this bishop has to move. But I forgot about this move. Luckily we still have f5, but this exchange sacrifice is pretty annoying. As you can see, the engine likes white here. This move is bad, it seems. Bishop d4 is better, because he wants to move his bishop there anyways, and he wants to take on e4 as well, so it just gains a move. Again, this b5 is an idea. And as you can see, this piece is worth a lot more than one of these rooks, because this one is really doing something, looking at my king, threatening to mate me in the future. Whereas my rooks are, well, they're on an open file, but that's about it. Therefore I wanted to triple my pieces to get something going, because otherwise, well, I have to, I'm up material somewhat, so I have to use it. I figured maybe he could go c5 here. Oh, I can just take on d5, sorry. So b3. I don't really understand this move. I mean, it even seems better to put it on b2, because then you have some room for the queen. But he had to do something about this rook f1 threat. Probably something like that. And the engine somewhat seems to think it's a draw. But yeah, this definitely plays easier with white. This is the strangest repetition I've seen in a while. I don't know. Queen d3 seems much more natural than bishop c3. Because now we can just check and go into an ending. And this c5 just loses, it seems. But if he doesn't do that, I mean, if he goes something like king g5, we can either go rook f1 or g5 here. Oh, g5 is somewhat bad. Okay, so rook f1 and just going behind the pawns and winning some. If c5, then we can still take and play this rook f8. Or we can even play rook d1 then. So he doesn't really have that, so yeah. This seems to be winning. I'm threatening to take on d5 now, and c6 doesn't win. Rook f8, b5 to get his bishop in. If I don't take, he's gonna have two passed pawns. So I thought he'd go bishop c3 here, and if I go back, then just go back as well. So if I went to, oh wait, what happened? King g7, yeah, bishop c3, and I'd probably go to h6, and then something like g5, and then just walk towards this pawn and well, win. So he went king g3, king f6, king takes e, king g5. Then we went to d5. If he's gonna move towards this pawn, I'd have probably played this and then just king f6 or king f7. Probably king f7. And he's way too slow. g4, d3, h4. We can just take here. If he takes, we're queening first. Only by one move though. The engine just plays h4, which is definitely the easiest. I would have gone like that and then just play queen g6 and still win, because the Zenning is winning. But it's not really that easy. In my opinion, he still had to play this. I could have also went for d2 and then just take. And if he goes g5 next, we have this rook c6. So he probably should take, but then his king is cut off and he can't really do anything. I'm just gonna move my e-pawn forward and win. So yeah, this is definitely a winning position, but he still had some, well, practical chances maybe. Nonetheless, pretty fun game. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.